Hello everyone and welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube tonight, so subscribe to the channel, get involved in the live chat. Also stick any questions you may have in the chat as well. We'll do our best to answer them later on in the show because I'm very cautious that my guest, it was me and him that did last night's reaction, so I don't want to just do exactly the same podcast as we did last night. I am Scott Carney and if you haven't guessed, I'm with Ali Pearson. Ali, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Hello, everyone in the chat as well. But it's us two again, Carrie. It's a bit that usually after a game on a Thursday night, especially in Europe, it's usually good to have somebody that wasn't on the post match with us on the
Yeah.
Friday, so you can kind of discuss it and get their opinion on it as well. So, folk will just need to listen to us. Basically, we could just copy and paste for last night.
Yeah, no, we won't do that as such. We'll go down different avenues, mate. We're not a one dimensional podcast. We're more than that. Well, yeah, Jamie and Nicky have plans tonight, which is absolutely fair enough. And Ryan's in Cheltenham still pretending that he's in Peaky Blinders, so we'll see Ryan when we see him. Before I go any further, I need to give a shout out to Boise, who I met while at work. He said he didn't hear the first one. I think he's lying, but he'll get to now. So Boise, this is the second time you've got it. So next time I see you, you better not say that I didn't give you a shout out. And shameless plug as always, to support the podcast to reach the next level, you can join the channel for as little as 99p a month. You can also buy the podcast a coffee and join the Coffee by Legend membership via buymeacoffee.com. All the links are in the description for this podcast. But the biggest thing you can do to help this podcast and support this podcast is subscribe to the channel. It is free, absolutely free to do so. So please do that. Ali, we will start with last night. The 1-0 defeat to Benfica. And I know we'll not go into too much detail because it is, as I say, we did the reaction literally less than 24 hours ago, but 24 hours on, your opinion changed much? You still feeling the same?
Nah, not really, to be honest. I talked to Stu at my work, as you know, he's a Rangers man as well. We talked about it, but no, I just think we talked about it today in work actually, and he made very good points. Fine margins in Europe. You look over the two legs, Carney, the penalty kick that probably shouldn't have stood, the own goal that we gave away. We've been undone by corner kicks, if you think about it, over the two legs, and then we have a corner kick in last night and they break away and they're clinical. So it is fine margins in these games, Carney. I don't think over the two legs there wasn't much between the two teams. Benfica had a lot of the ball in the first leg. We had a lot of ball in the second leg, but I don't think there was that much. There wasn't a huge gulf in class, if you want to say, in the two teams. I just thought they were clinical in front of goal. They had one chance and they took it last night. We had one big chance and we didn't take it. And like I say, it's fine margins in Europe, and you'll get put out, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the same as I feel, mate. To be honest, I think they took their chance when it came to them. It really is as simple as that. It was a horrific night, and as Andrew Muir's just asked, have I dried out? Yes, I have. It's an easy first question to ask. I have dried out. I was so soaked. Did you get back to the car? Oh, it was so bad.
I'm looking out the window now as well. There's blue. It's literally blue sky.
Like it is one of the nicest nights of the year, mate.
Yeah.
Literally, we just finished up dinner there and I was coming up the stairs. I was like, look at it outside now. I was like, compared to what I had to go to Ibrox in last night, yeah, it's a lovely night in Glasgow tonight. But yeah, we're not here talking about the weather. But no, yeah, I agree, mate. I think it is very fine margins. And look, you can go back and you can overanalyse Goldschon's own goal, the fact that they only scored once from open play for their 3 goals, etc., all that kind of thing. But I just felt like for what our main priority is this season, Europe is the one that I would, at this stage anyway, because we've got to the round of 16 at this stage, I would have thought I'll be happy to see that go, if that makes sense. Not that I don't want to win and I don't want Rangers to get the final. Of course I do, before people put words in my mouth. I don't mean it like that. But it was more the primary focus for us due to the position we find ourselves in the league and going into the Scottish Cup semis, and with already having the League Cup behind us and in the bag, I thought that would be the winner. And that probably softened the blow for me, to be honest. When I left Ibrox, I was like, I can kind of. It's hard because I hate being kind of over pragmatic about a loss, but it was like I just kind of got it. I was like, all right. Just wee bits, mate. Obviously, Dessers he's come into quite a lot of slack for last night because of the chance that did fall his way. Now, am I getting too nice in my old age, mate? That I'm not going to, and I'm not saying for any any second that he was good last night. I'm not saying that. But I think I've just accepted who he is. So see when he misses the chances, I kind of go, yeah, of course. Of course he misses the chances. But I still think he could score. And right now, we don't really have an option. And if I'm being honest, I think Clement's protecting Roof because he's going to get called upon.
Yeah, Kamar Roof's the clinical one out of the two of them. But Kamar Roof can't play 90 minutes of football, and he'll need to pick and choose when he plays Kamar Roof. Dessers, Dessers isn't. He's not good enough to be our number 9, our number
No.
one, number 9. I would say out the 3 strikers we've got, if they were fully fit, he'd be number 3 for me. It's just because of what's happened with Danilo injured. Kamar Roof obviously is constantly injured. He's found his way up the pecking order. Silva isn't really a number 9. Looks better out on the left hand side, but he wastes a lot of chances. Dessers, he does. But I mean, if he scored all these chances, he wouldn't be at Rangers because I mean, if you look at Dessers on paper, Carl, just don't take away as you like watching the guy with your eyes, but on paper, his records is pretty good at Rangers in terms of his goals to appearances. It's good, but you just know when he gets these chances, he's going to make an arse it. To be honest, I think he does all right in terms of playing teams in Scotland. I think he'll do all right there. But when it comes up against big teams, and I know he scored the goal away in Betis, and it was a great goal, but nah, I never feel confident with him when he's one with a goalkeeper or something. I just think he's always going to hit the keeper or miss or something. But he's a bit of an enigma, and he's a go-to guy, Carney. So if we don't win a game and we don't score a goal, he's a guy that folk bash.
Yeah.
And the problem is, beginning of the season, folk made their mind up on him, and a lot of folk won't change their mind on him. I think they want rid of him next season, and I think Rangers will probably look to move him on next season. But he's the only guy we've really got to go with at the moment, Carney, and that's where we're at. And that's down to recruitment. It's been down to being very unlucky in terms of injuries, but it's one of the main ones that Clement will be addressing in the summer. We need a striker. And I know a lot of folk will say we should win and get Shankland in January, which is easier said than done because you don't know what Hearts want for a guy with 18 months left in his contract. So, yeah, we'll just need to see where we are. But the lack of firepower kind of showed last night for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, Clement's even come out and said he had no money. He didn't have money to play about with. He had to be quite smart, and he stole a wee bit as well from next year's transfer budget. So we didn't have the money to just to go out and sign Shankland. And there's even I say, you know what Rangers Twitter can be like, mate. It goes absolutely wild one way and then absolutely wild the other way. And again, I always find myself kind of bang in the middle of it. And I can understand the frustrations. Like people say we need a whole new front line. I don't think we need a whole new front line. You've got to remember Cortez is out, Danilo's out. We're lacking players to come in and play in the positions. We're slowly getting players back. I think the right hand side will need addressed. I'm not bashing McCausland. I still think he's a wee bit too young for that to be for us to be so relying on him on the right hand side. And the striker's something that we've known for a while. It really is, and I think that's probably why I don't get too angry at Dessers because of the reasons you said. I don't really expect him to score, so when he does, I'm like, oh, your beauty, he scored one. Do you know what I mean? But it shouldn't be the case. But I've kind of accepted the situation that we're left in. I don't believe it's Dessers' fault. I don't believe it's Clement's fault. It's Michael Beale's fault in the first place for bringing him in the club. But again, I don't know. Maybe I think I'm just getting too nice from old age, mate. I think it might be. I think it might be that. In terms of the run overall, mate, that we had in Europe, obviously we did actually okay when you think about it. It wasn't a complete disaster, really. Obviously, we started off Group C with a win versus Betis. That was still under Beale, wasn't it? Yeah, still under Beale. The 2-1 defeat to no, we started off with the. No, it was. We started off with the 1-0 win at Betis. Yes, we started off the 1-0 at Betis. The 2-1 defeat against Limassol. That was Beale, was it? Or no, that was Steve Davis, wasn't it?
That was under Steve Davis and Alec Gray.
That was under Steve Davis. That was his first game in charge. And then the 0-0 draw with Sparta was Davis as well? No, Clement. Must have been Clement.
No, Clement.
I'm terrible at this. Under Clement. And then a 2-1 win, obviously. And then a 1-1 draw with Limassol. the very dramatic 3-2 win away to Betis, and then obviously the Benfica game. It's not in terms of Scottish football, I don't think it's a too bad a run. I think we are always expecting more due to the runs that we have been on previously. But I'm for one, I'm proud of the teammate for last night. I'm proud of where we've managed to get to with the injuries that we have, with the squad that we have. As Nicky says, we're using the same 12, 13 players right now, expecting them to do 90 minutes. Every a rotation of like a couple of players, and we're expecting them to do 90 minutes week in, week out, and sometimes twice a week. So overall, mate, your thoughts on the campaign as a whole? As I say, for me, it's still one we can hold our heads up high from. We're the only Scottish team in it in European football at this stage of the season. So for me, yeah, it's one of the ones you maybe don't. You always want to go further, of course you do, and when the draw happens, you're looking at it and going, "Oh, we could have had a go at them or whatever." But still, I think the players can be proud of what they've done.
Yeah, I think it's a decent achievement from where we were at the beginning of the season. Obviously, we got off to a great start, beating Betis, a few dodgy games. I mean, it's the biggest Rangers thing ever to drop points against Limassol, who are probably one of the poorest teams we've played in Europa League, and then go away to Betis and win and top the league. I'd settled myself in when we were just about to play Betis away. I'd settled myself for conference. I honestly thought we were going into conference, and for Rangers to do what they did out there and Betis was some achievement. To beat them in both games, that's a great achievement. To top the group, the money that brings as well. You miss the playoff leg and go straight into the last 16. So I think it's a really good achievement. And against Benfica, didn't disgrace ourselves at all. I just thought we were unlucky. I thought we were unlucky. Like I say, it was fine margins. And another night, I think we could have beaten Benfica. They deserved to go through. Last night, I thought they were the better team. I thought they looked more dangerous coming forward. But as I say, it's fine margins. But overall, I think it's decent, Karen. You need to look where we are at this point. I mean, if somebody told you 4 months ago you get knocked out by Benfica and in the last 16, but you'd be 2 points clear at the top of the league, and you'd be in a semi-final of a Scottish Cup, Chris, you'd have laughed at somebody at that point, to be honest. And you see where we are. I think a lot of people looked at last night, and speaking to people today, I don't think they're as disappointed. Of course, you want to win everything, but the bigger picture is we are right in for this title this season in terms of where we are. And for me, everything should be put into that title going forward, because there was 9 games or something left. So, yeah, overall, I think it was a good achievement for Rangers this season in Europe.
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't disagree with that. I think we should be proud of it. We can nitpick out it, and yeah, the lack of firepower last night, and the kind of drop off from our most creative players. For example, like Silva, as you mentioned on the pod, I thought he was nullified last night. I thought Lawrence had a bit of a stinker. I didn't think he was great, but it's going to happen from time to time. As I say, there's a lot of a lot of minutes and legs as it is right now, and with the team, I think we're a full squad, but I think we probably do much better. I think with a fully fit squad, I think we could have probably. I think we could have got through last night. I'm not going to lie, but it's not the reality of the situation that we're in right now. We're in a bit of an injury crisis, and we just have to dust ourselves off and move on, because we've got a big game on Sunday again, as every game is going to be now for the rest of the season, and then we're into the international break. Before I move on any further than that, mate, I'm going to talk about something that's cropped up a couple of times actually in the comments tonight, and I think it's something that needs addressed. Not addressed, but as if we're going to fix it. We're going to address it like we'll fix it, because we won't fix it. Our conversion rate from corners must be one of the worst in world football. We don't ever create anything from corners. Is it just this in-swinging, out-swinging thing? Should we be hitting more in-swinging corners? I'm not 100% sure what the problem is, but I can't remember the last time we scored outright from a corner. And somebody will come in the comments and tell me that it was last week, because my memory's that bad. But
Yeah,
we get so many corners in games. A lot of the times we get a lot of corners, and you kind of get a lift from the crowd when it happens, and you're still going, yeah, but we're not going to do anything with it. And that's something that needs addressed from your conversion rate for corners is not good.
I think it's absolutely woeful, to be honest. When we get a corner kick, it's a joke, and the guys where I sit at Ibrox in our row, it's a bit of a joke between us all. when Rangers get a corner, we look at each other and go, well, what's the point? Because we're not going to do anything with it. Yeah, I think if that's something in the comments there, Paul was saying Suter was the last to score for a header for a corner kick, but no, corner kicks for me, Carney. Just when we get them, I'm like, I can't see us doing anything with it. We don't even. We try to mix it up sometimes, but they make an arse of it. Like, I mean, last night we tried to mix it up by going short, and then we lost it instantly. I think it was Diamandi that lost it, and they broke up the park. But it's something in the summer. I'd like to think Clement. I mean, a clever guy, Clement, and he's done a lot for Rangers this season. But surely he's looked at that and thought that's something we need to work on next season, because it is woeful. And we've got a lot of height in our team: Lundstrom, Goldson, Suter, and never really get any goals. I mean, Connor Goldson probably one of the worst culprits for it when we get a corner kick, because he just balloons over the bar. But for me, I always kind of sigh when we get a corner kick. So I'm like,
we're not going to do anything. Yeah, we're not going to do anything. Yeah, especially it's when you see the outswinger as well. I don't know. For me, I don't particularly like outswingers. Maybe we don't have enough players that are good enough in the air to win headers. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe it really is our only two centre halves that have got a chance of putting the ball away with their head. And again, that kind of limits it when you've got how many people in a box defending a corner. But yeah, it is one of the things. You could even feel it last night. It happens pretty much every game when we're chasing a goal. We get a corner, the crowd gets a lift, and I always go, right, come on. And then I'm like, oh no, hang on. We've not scored from a corner since 1972. So no, it's just something that had really begun to bother me. I don't know, but we're going to need to somehow work on that, because it has to get better. Yeah. Before we move on, actually, I forgot to mention while we were talking about our overall performance, our overall European run this season. Jamie, from this podcast, released a blog today, and it's over on our community page. So please go and check that out. Leave a comment. Let me know if you like it. Let Jamie know if you enjoy the read. Obviously, after this pod is finished, after we come off, you can go and have a read of it. But yeah, I read through it today while on my lunch. It is a very good read. So it's something we're trialling on the pod to see how it goes. We'll be doing it on the community page on YouTube, so go and check that out when you get a minute and give us a bit of feedback on it. That'd be very much appreciated. We'll move on, mate, to Clement winning the Manager of the Month for February, or the Clement Award, should we call it now. Thoroughly deserved, though, for Clement to be getting that. I think we have by far been the better team in February in the league, and it's very much under his control. I hope he wins the next 25 in a row, mate.
We won all our games in February, didn't we? Did we win them all?
I think so.
Yeah, we won them all, yeah.
When did we get beat off?
Motherwell was March, wasn't it?
Was it? Aye, March.
I think so.
No, we're terrible at this, mate.
I know. I think Motherwell was March. I don't know. I need to look back at that. Somebody will tell us in the comments. But his record's been brilliant since he's come in, Carney, and since we had that knockback at Parkhead when we lost in the sort of New Year derby, we bounced back brilliantly and won whatever it was, 10, 11 games in a trot. So he deserves it. The only blip we've really had since coming out of there is Motherwell. I know we get put out last night, but Europe's a bit of a sideshow for me. So Motherwell's the only real blip, and since then I think we've responded quite well. So I think he deserves it. As you say, he's been the best manager, so that's why he got the award.
Yeah, absolutely. He does. He thoroughly deserves. He thoroughly deserved it. As I say, I think I might actually. But we're going to do something that we would do as well, and something actually we should probably start is talking about the awards more often, because I think the club even do a Player of the Month thing. I think Butland got it for February. In fact, my memory serves me correct, that earlier on in the season it was voted. Yeah. It would be Jack Butland that got it for February. Probably quite rightly so. What's your take on him not getting called up for England? Do you think that's purely down to where he plays football? Because I was a wee bit shocked, mate. The rumours were quite strong that he was going to get called up, Butland, but
snobbery. That's what it is. In terms of he plays in Scotland, nah. And you look at the keepers that have got in there. Pickford, he's the number one. I don't think Pickford's that great, to be honest. I think he's quite erratic in goal.
Yeah.
Ramsdale, I think Ramsdale's a decent keeper, to be fair. I think he is decent. And a boy that I've never heard of that plays for Crystal Palace. I look at Crystal Palace are in the league. They're way down the bottom somewhere. So, I mean, you look at Jack Butland, he's got the best stats, which you would expect. playing in Scotland, to be honest, with Rangers who have most of the ball. So you would expect that. But Jack Butland's played for England before. It's not as if he's a guy who's not played for England before. He's done it. He's been there before. And to knock him back, yeah, I thought it was poor. And it probably shows that he probably won't get in this England team going forward if that's the three he's chosen. I know this is for friendlies, so this isn't the actual the squad for when they play in the Euros. So he's still got a slight chance, but I think he had to play in these friendlies to get a chance. So it's a shame, but unfortunately, down in England, they look up here as a Diddy league. I work for an English company, and I speak to guys down there that support Liverpool and all these other teams, and that's what they think. They don't think we've got a great level of football. And outside Rangers and Celtic, we don't really, to be honest.
No, we don't. No.
We don't really, to be honest. So that's why they look at up here. But to me, if you're Southgate, you should be looking at Jack Butland in Europe, what he's doing against these teams as well. And he's done fantastically well. So it's a shame for him, because I honestly thought when he was up as the 5 goalkeepers initially, I thought he's going to get in here. But to see that he didn't get in, just doesn't shock me, Carney, because as I say, they look up here and turn their nose up against up here.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him too. I thought he handled the question quite well last night. I don't know if you've seen the reaction that he had to it on Twitter. I thought he handled it quite well. I thought as soon as you seen it come out, he was like, "Oh, my focus is going to be on this game now," and I did feel for him a little bit. However, I still, probably Rangers fan naivety, that I'm thinking he probably just wants to win things up here. I think if he comes up here in his first season, he's going to end up winning. Obviously, he could win the league, he could win the Scottish Cup, he could end up winning all domestic trophies that we could go for this season. I think it would be remiss of Southgate not to consider him. But then I have much faith in Southgate, the fact that he picked Jordan Henderson just because he's Jordan Henderson. That's the only reason he picked him, because he's been terrible by all accounts this season. If you did the reports on him after his time in Saudi, and I think Ajax got pounded as well last night. They get beat last night as well. So I mean, it shows you that he's not really performing as he should be, but he still gets picked. So it's Southgate picks his mates, and that's me backing up my man Jack. Yeah, because I think he thoroughly deserved it. I really do. But yeah, I felt for him a little bit. I just seen a question from Curry Muncher. Where was it? Scott, last 3 games Diamond has been pretty bad after a promising start. Is it the amount of games he's having to start, or is there something more? Ali, I thought last night he lost his mental. He looked mentally tired. I was about to say he lost his mental head. That doesn't make sense. He lost his. He looked physically tired. He looked mentally tired. He kind of lost himself in the game. I think after losing, I think he was the one that lost the ball when they broke up the park to score. I'm pretty sure it was him that lost it out in the corner. I could be wrong. Again, somebody will probably correct me. I've not the chance. I was at work today, so I've not the chance to see the game back. But we've got to remember this guy's not played football in a while. He was out for a considerable time. He probably does need a pre-season, and it's almost his pre-season just now. I think there's quality there with him, don't get me wrong, but we were speaking about it even last night, I think at half-time, is that occasionally there's a slack pass, and it's usually in a slack pass in an area that could cost us. Does that make sense? But I don't want to be too overcritical of him because he hasn't played a lot of football, but what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because, like you say, he didn't play a lot of football because of their winter break where he came from out there, and he came to us and he was kind of thrown in a wee bit, to be fair, and he's kind of played most games because players like your boy Ryan Jack is constantly injured. So, and Nico Raskin's form has been pretty poor. So, I've not really had a chance to bring him out, to be honest. And some games I think he's been absolutely brilliant, Carney, and other games he's not been that great. He's been a bit erratic for me, like I told you last night. I did say the way he plays at the moment, maybe it is because he's a bit tired, whatever, but there is times where you think he's going to cost us a goal. As you say, that slack pass or a square ball, whatever it is, in the middle of the park, a few times he's nearly cost us. I mean, the one at Kilmarnock where Jack Butland pulled him out was a big one, because if Jack Butland gets that completely wrong, he's off the park. I mean, we'll come on to our teams for for Sunday, but I had potentially look at maybe pulling him out for Sunday, have him on the bench, because he does look a bit tired in the middle of the park, along with players like Tom Lawrence as well, who I thought looked tired last night at times as well. And it's a problem because John Lundstrom is the one guy in the middle of the park who's there every game, and we need a bit of stability round about him. And he's trying to do well. He's had to do it because of injuries, but I think he'll be a good player next season once he's got a pre-season under his belt under Clement, when he brings better players in as well. I think he'll be a player for us. I really do. I know we're spending a lot of money for us in terms of over 4 million, so which is big money, but he's still young. He's got a lot of potential. He's moved to Scotland, another country. But he looks like he's settled in quite well with the group. So yeah, I've got no issues with him so far. But yeah, once he's got a pre-season under him, I think he'll come good next season.
Yeah, and he is still young. I suppose you forget that he is still young. And you're right about Lundstrom. He's in one of the ones I would say most within the team that is needing this international break to come sooner rather than later. He definitely needs a rest. I don't think anybody could disagree with that. You can see it at points during games as well. I thought mentally last night he just did a few things. Be at the pitch because it was a very wet pitch, but he just that one where he kind of kicked it again, and I thought, well, it's not something that you would usually see him doing. And I thought he's probably tired. But Diamonde as well, he's been kind of thrust into the deep end because of the injury to Cantwell as well, because Lawrence was obviously playing the 8, Cantwell was playing the 10. There's not really much room for rotation. What I will say though, and somebody mentioned it just there, just before it disappears on me, is that Raskin, when he came on, I thought Raskin looked quite sharp last night when he came on. That's probably the sharpest I've seen him so far.
It's the first time I've looked at him and thought he looked up for it last night, Raskin. He wanted to be in the ball. He was chasing balls down. Yeah, I've been disappointed with Raskin this season. Very disappointed in him because he came in last season with Cantwell and he looked an upgrade on what we had, and he was. But this season he's really struggled. I know he's been injured a few times, but when he's come back and had a chance, I don't think he's taken his chance. He may get a chance this Sunday, but he needs to really step up if he wants to make it in this Rangers team, Raskin. Because if he doesn't, you'll go right down the list and potentially maybe a guy that Rangers might look to maybe move on in the summer. You never know. But yeah, last night was the first time I'd seen him and thought, he looked back to the kind of Raskin of last season, if you want to say. But he needs to do that week in, week out if he wants to start in this Rangers team.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we go any further, it is time for a word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions Manscaped. This season, make sure to groom your carpets and the drapes with the leaders in below the waist grooming. Clear out that winter bush with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 and watch your confidence bloom. Embrace the season and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and use the code CLUBAT22 for 20% off and free shipping. After using Manscaped, I can finally say I have caught that spring fever. Introducing the season's champ, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads. A standard one for taking a little off the top and the new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It also features a dual LED spotlights to guide you through the darkest winter debris. Navigate with confidence in your delicate areas. Hate making a mess? Not to worry, this bad boy is waterproof. Shave in the shower with ease. I love this thing because it comes with a compact case. I take it with me wherever I go. I actually do. The handyman especially. I do take the handyman everywhere that I go. Not everywhere, but when I go away, I take it with me. Spring cleaning doesn't just apply to the nether regions. Get the full grooming experience with Manscaped's signature Beard Hedger Pro Kit and Handyman Electric Face Shaver. Whether you're looking to craft your signature look or clean up that neckline, these are always the right tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUBAT22 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUBAT22 at manscaped.com. Everyone loves a bit of spring cleaning, and our friends at Manscaped give you the best tools for the job. Thank you very much to Manscaped for their continued support of this podcast. If you use their code, you're supporting this podcast. And Ali, their stuff is brilliant.
It is. That handyman's, I know you just said it on the doing your spiel there, but the handyman for me is the best one. I love the handyman. It's good as well. Obviously, sometimes I work away with my work. I need to stay away sometimes, so it's a good wee tool to take with me. Obviously, I can't grow a beard like yourself.
Neither can I, but not really. I used to be
No,
able to grow a beard, but not now.
it would take me about 10 years to grow a beard. So it's aye, the handyman's very good for me. So it's been a game changer. So yes, the handyman is my favourite one.
Yeah, brilliant. We're going to have a bit of time, everybody, so get your questions in the chat after. We'll speak about after the next point. We'll have a wee bit of time where we can take some questions, so please get them in. We'll look out for them and we'll come back to them. Ali, the semi-final against Hearts was confirmed as Sunday, 3 p.m. kick-off on the Sunday. I'm not going to lie, mate, I hate Sunday football and I hate Hampden. However, it's much better than 12:30 on a Saturday at Hampden, so I will take it.
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy about that. I watched the game yesterday with Scotia and we were talking about it, and the Sunday game, because you'd assume most folk would take the Monday off their work for it, so it's kind of like a
Is
Saturday
that you
for us,
asking
mate.
me if I'm? Is that you asking me if I'm taking Monday off my work?
I'd assume you are, to be honest, but I already asked you, but I'd assume most people will take the Monday off of work for that. So yeah, a 3 o'clock on a Sunday is good. Obviously, you like to kind of make a wee day of it when you go to Hampden. I know we always kind of meet at Church and Hill for a few beverages before we go to the game. Aye, the Saturday one at 12, half 12, what it is. It's a no for me, that one. I know Aberdeen's got, don't really care to be honest, but
No,
Aberdeen's got a bit of a, I know your stepdad's an Aberdeen fan, but they've got a bit of a raw deal, Aberdeen, to come down for Aberdeen to get down at the kick-off. So, aye, a bit of a sore one for them, but as I say, I don't really care to be honest. But, aye, 3 o'clock a Sunday, yeah, I'll take that.
I'll be surprised if. Well, I doubt he will. Actually, I was about to say he might phone me and ask if he can stay here the night before, but I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would do that. But no, he'll definitely be down for it. There's absolutely no doubt that he'll be going to the game. But he tends to travel with the herd. He tends to travel with the herd on his way down. So no, I mean Sunday's spot on for me. I'd say if it was a 3 p.m. kickoff, then yeah, I'm all for the Sunday. I'm not for a 12:30 start at Hampden. That's a bit of a disaster, really, getting to Hampden for that time. So yeah, let's hope the pitch is in some form of decent condition, mate. That would be quite nice because we all know what Hampden can be like. But the weather's got better tonight. Let's hope it long may it continue, mate. Let's hope long may it continue. So yeah, look, chat, over to you. I see we've got a bit of time before we're going to go on to the preview of the Dundee game. So fire any questions that you may have into the chat and we will do our best to answer them. I'm scrolling up. Ali,
I would say, Carney, sorry, I would say just, I know we were talking about the Hearts game there, but the Hearts get granted I know
the
we
50
talked about it
50.
on here, but Hearts get granted Aberdeen haven't been granted it, but Hearts have been granted the 50-50 split. So I'd assume, like you said on the podcast, that they'll be given a specific date to say, right, well, you can have half the tickets, but you need to sell them by then. So it's interesting to see how many they actually sell.
Was it one of the lads in the pub last night before we went over to the game said that their average attendance is like 18,000 this season?
Probably about 16 or something. Aye, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a decent amount. So you never know. They might manage to sell half, but I would doubt it. We'll just need to wait and
Yeah.
see if there's
Usually
actually.
the usually the split, if it's a final in the old firm, for instance, usually the split is about 22,000 to each team in terms of the normal people going in, and then the
Mhm,
rest is on bloody hospitality, which I think is far too much. But
far too
that's
much.
usually the kind of split.
Yeah, that's usually what the split will be. I am Neo is asked. We have a Casto kit again next season, guys. Will we have a Casto kit again next season? I think there's one more year left, if I'm not
I think
wrong.
there's one more year. Yeah.
So I think no, I don't think there's much we can do about that. I think it will be. I think they will be them next year. Don't get me wrong. I see their strips this season. I have liked them. I'm not going to lie. Like I do like the home top. I do like the away top. Does slightly look like a tube of Colgate. I do get that, or Aqua Fresh, whatever one it is. So I do get that. It does look a wee bit like that. I like the orange and blue one, even though clearly the team are never going to wear that strip again, and I really do like the kind of red and blue one with the crazy pattern on it. So I'm not too fussed with Castor just now, to be honest. I think a few of them were a bit off for me, like that purple thing, that lilac-y purple thing, I thought was horrific. Wasn't even nearly the right shade of purple as it should have been. So, but this season, I think it's been pretty spot on. Your thoughts on Castor, mate?
They are Castor. They've won a watch out of Rangers and Stevie T. Thank you very much for the
Stevie
kind
T.
donation. Much
Thank,
appreciated.
thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, but no, Castor, we had obviously when they first took over Rangers and they were warned instantly, do you understand the size of Rangers and the demand
Yeah.
for strips? And they come out and says, yes, we do. And then they went and sailed and they must have went, oh, fuck, because they didn't. And the standard of the strips weren't great. But since then, to be fair, the strips I've washed mine quite a lot, Carney. I do it without softener, inside out, all these things to tell you what to do. And they've been fine. I mean, they do release a new training range or travel range every week. I mean, you get an email every week for Rangers and Castor saying that I had one other week there, another range come out, and I'm like, we're nearly into the bloody season.
I know.
That's why the best time to buy is just after Christmas, because all these tops, training tops, all come half price. So that's probably the best time to buy them. But they've been all right, because obviously they're in with lots of other football teams now, like is it Newcastle, Aston Villa, and that. So
Yeah, Wolves as well.
Wolves,
Wolves.
yeah.
And then is it Atletico Madrid? It's definitely there's a
Yeah,
Spanish
they've
team.
got a
I think
couple of
it's
foreign
Atletico.
teams as well. So, yeah, I think Rangers was the guinea pig for that, and now they've rolled it out. But if we've got a year left with them, and then it'll go to tender, Carney, in terms of who's going to get a strip. So, aye, at the moment, I don't mind their stuff, to be honest.
No, I think this season's been quite good. And I get like a lot of people. Actually, I've said it all the time. A lot of people go, "How many ranges do they need to release?" Well, don't buy it. I don't buy everything that
They'll
Castor
force you to
releases.
buy it.
And there is some of the stuff they've released where I've thought that's not very nice at all. And again, I don't go and buy it. But there's other stuff that I actually quite like. And I like traditional as much as I do with the home top and the away top to that extent. But everything else, I'm open for a wee bit of experimentation, a wee bit of modernisation to see how things can go. I'm saying I think that red and blue one that's very much chalk and cheese for people. I really like it. I do. I really like it. I think I'm the only one out of the boys that's got it. Actually, I don't think you've not got it, have you?
Yeah, you're the only one that's got it,
Yeah, I don't think so. I really like it. I do. I really like it. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Well, I saw another one, and Stevie's questions put me. Stevie's donation evens put me off. Who would you take after Castor? Everybody wants Adidas, but we're not guaranteed to get the Adidas strips of old, are we?
I really don't know, to be honest. I wouldn't say I've got a real preference who to get, to be honest. So
Hmm.
it's I don't really know. Actually, the design of the strip that I usually tend to like in terms of who's on the actual badge of it. So yeah, I know a lot of people would like Adidas. I know Celtic are obviously sponsored by them. Would they go with the two clubs? Don't know. There's Nike, obviously. There's other ones out there. So I don't know. I just need to wait and see. Very much
Um,
on ACDC range. It's the best top by far.
no, not for me. It's just not for me. Yeah, but then ACDC announced a tour. They're not even playing in Glasgow.
I know. It'd be a
Like,
perfect one, wouldn't it? Ibrox as
what?
well, I
Like,
know.
surely
Yeah.
Ibrox area? Surely, I don't know who done that one. Bisgrove's dropped the ball with that one. Um, in terms of like we've been speaking a wee bit previously about Goldson and Suter and the partnership. Suter came in for a bit of criticism, and then last night I actually thought Suter was very good.
That
Last
was
night
good.
I thought he was by far the kind of best defender. It looks very much like that's going to be the partnership going forward. For now, anyway, I don't see Balogun might come in at the weekend, but I'm not against it because cards on the table. Balogun's not going to be here next season. Balogun is here for this season and this season alone. Then he'll be away. So I'm not totally against it. So for you, would you be chopping and changing right now, or do you think you'd be keeping with the back two?
At times, I thought he might have brought Balogun in against teams that you think at Ibrox that you should win, to be honest, just to give maybe Suter a rest. But I don't think Suter really needs a rest, to be honest. The guy's pretty young. Wages John Suter 26, 27 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know he's been injured quite a bit when he was with Hearts and that, but he seems to have got over that now, and he's playing regularly. I do like a settled centre half pair, to be honest.
So that.
Goldson's a guy that's always there. I know he's going to get a lot of slack, Goldson, but it's Goldson plus who? And at the moment, it's John Souttar. And yeah, he's been at fault for quite a lot of goals that we've conceded in terms of he seems to be the guy. He's been unfortunate a few times, to be honest, but I mean, last night, Carney, I thought he was exceptional last night. I thought when he came out with the ball, I thought he was strong as well. And for me, he's got the shirt going forward. And we've got one game before a 2-week international break. And I know he was called up for Scotland. I don't know whether he'll get a game for Scotland or not. I'd assume because it's friendlies, he probably will. But yes, Souttar plays for me on Sunday. The guy's earned it for me. And I think the two of them are decent. I know he's right-sided, Souttar, in terms of he's playing on the left side. But I think he looks quite comfortable there, to be honest.
Well, Davies has also made the bench a few times. He seems to be right down the pecking order because people just
He'll be gone.
People bypass him and say about Balogun as well, so he'll be gone. I don't.
He's a natural left-sided centre half.
He is. Yeah, he is. But you're hoping by the end of this season that not that Souttar will be, but he's going to be far more experienced than playing on the left-hand side. So I don't believe that Clement would be continue to do that with him if he didn't think that's where he was going to be going forward for us. So I still think that again there's a number of areas that's going to need addressed in the summer, but that's for summer talk. We're still in a title race just now and in the cup, so I'll wait for another time. There's not much coming in, mate. So sorry, Blue Nose John. How you doing, John? Good to see you. Is it time to let Ryan Jack go? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, we can't afford it anymore. We can't afford for Jack to be coming back for 2 games, 1 game, whatever it may be, and then he disappears. We just can't. We can't be doing it. It's unfortunate. It's time for him to leave. And even with Kamar Roof coming back, and if Kamar Roof comes back and scores 5-6 goals to now to the end of the season, it's still time for him to go as well. We can't be stuck with these players that are going to break down when we need them most. We're going to need to invest more in the youth, and unfortunately, players like Jack and Roof, thank you very much for your service. Absolutely, like they've been fantastic. Ryan Jack's been great for us. He's been an absolute great player, but we are at the time now where we have to move on from that cycle of players and move on to the next. I don't think you'll disagree with me there, Ali.
No, it's unfortunate for Ryan Jack because when Ryan Jack's fit, he's a very good player for Rangers. He's dependable as well. He's one of these guys you can bring in, you know he'll do a job for you. But it's unfortunate his body just, like Kamar Roof, just breaks down. I mean, he went and played for Scotland, Carney, and played something like 8 minutes and get injured. Came back, get fit, played with Rangers, played for, again, 8 minutes or something, whatever it was. And was it Benfica? He come on and get injured. I don't know what the injury is. We've not really been told. I don't think how long he's out for, Ryan Jack. But we can't have players like that because Ryan Jack's the perfect guy to bring in to give guys like John Lundstrom a rest, who is desperately needing a rest, but he can't because Ryan Jack's constantly injured. So, yeah, I agree. He's been a good signing for us, pound for pound. We got him on a free, I think, Ryan Jack, but he's been a good servant for Rangers. But yeah, in the summer he goes along with a long list of other players.
I don't know if your internet went there or mine did. I'm not 100% sure. Are you? Was it mine?
I wondered what you were doing there. I thought you were pausing because I thought you maybe heard me wrong that I was saying Ryan Jack was that or something.
No, it was that my internet. Sorry, apologies everybody. Don't know what happened. There was a glitch in the matrix there. I get it, mate. 100% get it. I think it's somebody mentioned there. I'd put the comment up about Bailey Rice. Yeah, he's another player that I would love to see more of and coming into that kind of role and being the backup to the first team. I think that would be good to see because I've been impressed with him with what I've seen so far. Michael Morgan asked, here's $1 million question. If we beat them at Ibrox, is that the title decider? I don't think it's the title decider, but it will bloody help us. Put it that way. It will put us in a very commanding position. Obviously, if it stays the same, we win every game up to then. and they do as well, and it remains the same. It puts us 5 points clear, which affords us a loss, if that makes sense. Not that I want Rangers to lose, but you understand what I mean by that. It affords us an off day at the office. So I don't quite think it's a title decider, Ali, but it will not have to do us a bit of good to get a 5 point gap, should the gap remain the same to the Old Firm.
Yeah, it's not a title decider. There's 2 games to go before that game, the 7th, obviously. Dundee away, and then we've got Hibs come to Ibrox just after the international break. So if we win those games, and you would think Celtic would win those games, we'll be 2 points ahead. And then if we beat Celtic at Ibrox, 5 points clear. Psychologically, it's a big one as well. But I have seen in previous seasons when we've been younger that Rangers have been in the split. I think Rangers have been in the split about 5 points behind and still come back and win the title in the split. So it can be done, but it'd be a big psychological dent if we did go 5 points clear, then can they? And it would be in our hands, to be honest. So it's not a title decider, but it would put us majorly in the driving seat.
Yeah, I think it's a must-win for them. Not that I don't think it's a must-win for us. It is a must. If we've got real ambitions, then we need to win that
They
game.
can't
I
get
don't
beat.
think they can't get beat.
I even think a draw would suit them, to be honest. I honestly think it might.
Kind of keeps them. Yeah, I suppose. But it's we do need to win, because it's about time we start winning these games. It's about time that we start a certain dominance again in Old Firm matches. So I do think it's important for us going forward. I think you have to remember that this still isn't fully Clement's squad. It will still take a bit of time, but I think for the run-in for the rest of the season after that game, I think it's imperative for Rangers to get the win. I really do. I think Rangers have to, by hook or by crook, win that game, because as Ali rightly said, after that the our fate will be in our own hands at that point. Big Dodge has asked, any more live shows or meetups planned, lads? Yes, there will be a live show in summer. Details to follow soon. It should be announced by the end of this month. Things are already moving. I'm already working on it, so I am hoping to announce something by the end of this month. But yes, there will definitely be another live show in summer, because it was bloody good fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again. Curry Munch has asked another question. 3 definite that are leaving: Jack Bond, the Banishix and Roof. Is there any other you and Ali want to see moved on? Where do I start? Scott Wright, Rabbi Matondo. No, keep him. Keep him. No. That's probably it. Davies, maybe. Yeah, Davies as well. I think if he's not going to be part of the plan, he's probably on quite a decent wage. I'd look to move him on. And yeah, that's any more you can think of? You probably agree with everything I've just said though there as well.
All Sam Lammers.
Sam Lammers, fucking right. Aye, him.
Go. I know he's doing reasonably all right out in.
Probably Dessers, and if Roof goes, maybe Dessers will be kept as a backup. I think Danilo's going to come back into the squad, but I still think we're going to need another striker at that point as well.
Dessers, I'd like, if we could get any sort of money back for Dessers, and I know we've paid reportedly 4 million for Dessers, but if we could get, I don't think we'd get anywhere near that back, to be honest. But he's a guy I'd look to move on. Somebody's just said in the chat there, Kieran Dowell. I like Kieran Dowell, but again, he's constantly injured. But I like him as a player when I see him. I think he's a good squad option for us. But he's a guy. He's a guy potentially like go. Hadji, another one in the comments there. I'd let him go in the summer as well. John McLaughlin.
He's not had a good time on loan.
No, he's been slaughtered out there with Alaves. I think he's with John McLaughlin. I would let go as well. Then you've got to look at players like Robbie McCrory. What does Robbie McCrory want to do? Does he still want to be a number 2 at Rangers, or does he want to go? So I think there'll be a lot of outs in the summer, Carney. It'll be interesting what we bring in. I'd like to see us bring in a couple of players within the league, the Scottish league, as backup players potentially. Scottish players. I know Ryan Harp's on about this quite a few times. I'd be looking at the boy. I know we're going a wee bit outside here, but I'd be looking at that boy who plays for Motherwell in the middle of the park. What's his name? It's Lennon Miller. 17 years of age. Does he look 17? I'd be looking at players like that. Just if we could get players like that for the Scottish Scottish quota as well.
Homegrown thing, yes.
Homegrown quota. So I'd be looking at a couple of players within the Scottish League to beef us up a wee bit. I think there'll be quite a few going in the summer, Carney.
Yeah, I would think so as well. I think there will be quite a few to get moved on. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else. As I say, I've kind of went through the whole squad there as you were talking, and I'm like, yeah, I can maybe
Would you let
possibly.
Raskin go?
If the offer was good enough, yeah, probably would. Yeah, I think if the offer was good enough, I think I had no idea what we signed him for. I've not got a clue. Was he free?
Couple of million,
Was it
I
a
think.
couple of million? Was
2
he?
million or something.
So if you got a profit on him, probably, yeah. If it was going to be reinvested in areas that we need it more, then yeah, I would imagine so. This is all in the assumption that John Lundstrom signs a new deal as well, which I'd imagine he probably will. But yeah, yeah, I can't think of anybody else. But no, good question. That, to be fair, good question, because we all kind of speak about who we know is going. Like Barisic won't be there, Roof won't be there, and who's your Ryan Jack? Obviously will be moved on as well. Right, that'll do us for. We'll move on just quickly. Mate, we'll finish up with a preview of Sunday. We play Dundee at Dens Park, still called Dens Park, isn't it?
Yep.
Dens Park. On Sunday, kick off at 12 o'clock. Me and you are preoccupied at that day, but we are going to find a way to watch the match. One way or another, we will be watching that game. We might be smartly dressed when you see us in the post match, by the way. Everybody just a pre warning for that. We might be quite smartly dressed. Yeah, we take on Dundee away. It's the last game before the international break. Dundee are sitting 6th after a 1-0 win over Aberdeen. Sorry for laughing on Wednesday night. They are a mess of a team right now, or as Looney would say, a shambles, mate. What's your thoughts ahead of the game, mate? Are you expecting a mass rotation, or do you expect as strong a team as you can due to what's the kind of break that's coming up after it?
Maybe a couple of changes, but a very strong team, because this is one game before we stop for 2 weeks. So yeah. Empty the tank here. Dundee are sitting 6th in the league at the moment, Carney. They're just ahead of Hibs, so they need to win. They need to win as many games as possible to try and get in this top 6. So I don't think they'll sit in Dundee. I think they might try and have a go at Rangers. I know last time we went up there, we did well and won 5-1. I think we won. Sam Lammers had that screamer. But they've got a couple of right players. Dundee, they've got a couple of they've got that hammer thrower Curtis Main up front.
Yeah,
got the boy Tiffany that played with Partick Thistle last year, who's quite decent. That Owen Beck went back on loan. I seen he didn't play against Aberdeen and he wasn't on the bench, so I don't know if he's injured or not for Dundee. But he's a good player, that Owen Beck. But Rangers should have enough to go up to Dens and beat Dundee. If we can't go to Dens and beat Dundee, can't they? Then don't deserve to win the league. So it's to me, it's one game. They know what they need to do. Rangers, they just need to win. I don't care how they do it. As I said last night, just win the game, and then we can rest for 2 weeks before all these fixtures come in. But I just go up there and win, Rangers. That is all I ask.
That's what Jim just said, 3 points up the road, and that is very much all Sunday is about. It really is. I see a lot of people have said in the chat already about rotation. I don't think there'll be a great deal. I wouldn't be shocked. I would be shocked if there's not a great deal of rotation, because it is very much empty the tank on Sunday, and then you get a rest. The players will get at least, I would imagine, 3 days off at least. They're going to get a bit of a break where they can get a bit of downtime, a bit of time with the family, and recharge a bit mentally and physically for a pretty massive run-in, for a pretty hectic schedule that we're going to have once we come back after the international break. So on that, mate, we'll finish up with our team and our score prediction. What is your team and your score for Sunday, or your prediction anyway?
Right. Butland in goal. Yep. Tav, Goldson, Suter, Yilmaz, Lundstrom. Oh, Jim Sloan.
Jim. Thank you, Jim.
That's always.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, Lundstrom. I think Raskin might start. I've just got a feeling they might start, and there he is, Justin Bjorn. That's all. God bless America.
Thank you, Justin. Honestly. Cheers, mate. Always lads.
There.
Always lads.
Yeah. I swear it was. John Lundstrom. Got a sneaking suspicion Raskin might come in and instead of Diamande. I think Cantwell will start over Lawrence. So I think that's my midfield. Silva on the left. McCausland, I think, might come back on the right. And I think he'll stick with Dessers. It'll be Dessers up front. And I'm going to go 2-0 Rangers. And I'm going to go McCausland first goal scorer.
Yeah. I can't see much flaws in your team, to be honest. I think that Monday could be brought out. I think Lawrence will start over Cantwell. I don't think Cantwell will be fully there yet. I just thought Cantwell was on the bench more as a try to give a lift to the team and the crowd more than anything else. Not that I don't think he looked fit enough. He did look fit enough, but I would expect Lawrence to stay there. Raskin to come in, yeah, I'll give you that. Silva. McCausland, well, yeah, you probably will be McCausland. Depends who's fitter, I think, out of McCausland and Matondo, to be honest. Whoever one of them's fitter will probably get the start. And I'm the same, I think he'll stick with Dessers. I think he'll give Dessers another crack at the whip, but Kamar Roof to come on after it. I'd be shocked. He might start Roof, we don't know, but I just don't see too much of a rotation happening. This will be very much get up there, get 3 points, don't get injured and get back down the road, and then we regroup, we refresh, and we go again. I'll go 3-0 Rangers, and I'll go Dessers to score first. Please. He's due a goal, man. He is. It's been a while. He's due a goal. He is due a goal. That will do us for tonight. Thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us, and thank you to Ali Pearson for joining me.
No problem. We will be watching the game on Sunday some way. I don't know. I do know how we will do it. I've got a backup for it in terms of we have Sky Go.
We have two options. So we'll see how we'll basically see what our missus say, mate. Oh, Andrew Muir, thank you so much. Fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much.
I think the first option, Carney, which is basically escaping for 2 hours, I can't see that going down if I'm very honest about it.
I don't see that going down too well, no.
But yes, we do have Sky Go, so we will be watching the game one way or another, and yeah, we'll bring a post match. So I look forward to it, but I'll be honest, as long as Rangers get 3 points on Sunday, I'm actually looking forward for once to a bloody international break to reset myself as well, because it's been full on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I said that to you walking down the road last night. Probably the rain that was doing that to me as well. I was like, you know what, mate? I'm looking forward to a wee rest. But again, the international break's always too long. I only need a few days. Generally, I only really need a few days, and then it'll be you're kind of missing it again. And just on that, I'll just give everybody a shout up. Next, after Sunday, when we get a reaction, there'll be no Club Deck Corner next week. The podcast is taking a couple of days break for various reasons. So yeah, we need to recharge and refuel in order to get ourselves ready for the run-in. But we'll be back with Club Live next Friday. Absolutely no doubt about it. We'll be back. And Ryan might be here, unless he's in a different country. I don't know. He might be in another country again. I don't know. He's not put another request in terms of a holiday request. So yeah, we'll need to wait and see. But yes, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. We will speak to you on Sunday, very smartly dressed after the game, after hopefully 3 points, and then we're in international break. We have been Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers everybody.